for a bit? Okay.
Go, H.
Welcome back to the Rollers and the Rockers podcast. My name is Hayley Miller. Start again. That was... Welcome back to the Rollers and the Rockers podcast. My name is Hayley Miller, and with me each and every week, Emma O'Driscoll. Welcome. It was because I wasn't sure what I was going to say. I did just have to do a rerun so everyone knows. Hopefully that won't be on the podcast, but here we are. We made it the second time.
For anyone that was, listening to that intro, Hayley did stuff it up to start with because all it said today is Hayley introduced the pod and then she forgot what she was saying. So that's
I've only
perfect.
said it every single week, but you know, when it's not there, you get a bit tongue-twisted, tongue-tied.
The second time around, you're amazing. And might I just say, because we're all about bringing up insecurities before, Hayley is lactating again this podcast. For some reason.
Third week in a row.
H has a drink of her water bottle and it spills right on her breast every single week.
No, do you know what? Do you know who's to blame for that? Hayley Runnels. Actually, we're going back a step further. It's Jay Flynn. Because Jay Flynn told me that she cleaned out her water bottle, right? So took all of it apart and cleaned it properly. And she was like, you must do it. Yeah. Anyway, I told Hayley. So Hayley goes and does it, cleans all of our water bottles. And now they all leak.
No,
every single one of them.
I didn't clean this is a true fact because I cleaned mine out the other day, but just took it off and tried to wipe the inside where you can literally get mold.
Yes.
I know that sounds
gross. Yeah.
rank, but I had some black stuff accumulating in my water bottle and I was like, maybe this is why my tummy's been sick. Anyways, and now my thing, I can't even squirt the water out of it. I have to suck it. Oh, now I'm embarrassed. That was going better in my head. Oh,
that sounded better in your head than what it did when it came out.
We're going to move on to introduce our guest, H.
We are going to introduce our guest, and I am so excited for this one because she's back. She's back. She's joining us on the podcast again. In my opinion, best runk. Oh, my God. What is wrong with me?
You were mixing ruck and comp. I know what you were doing.
We need to do our tongue twisters before the podcast because
I can't. Just go again.
Okay. I'm just going to read it off here and then I won't stuff it up. Joining us for the podcast this week is the best ruck in the league, in my opinion. She's dominant on the field and she's an incredible human off the field. Mim Strom. That was something, wasn't it?
That performance or my performance?
No, me. This
Runk.
podcast so far.
Runk here reporting for duty.
Nah, Runk. It's getting worse.
Anyway, the elephant in the room is back, and also the other elephant in the room is not here.
I know.
The one that
She's
replaced.
scared.
Because I think she's scared.
Yeah. I like the new setup though. I like the lights. That's nice.
Yeah, we have taken a little step
So
forward.
we would say though that since you've left, we've upgraded, but also you've leveled up on the field. So maybe we were weighing you down all this time.
Here's what happened.
Okay.
I've been boycotting the podcast silently. I've been telling everyone except you guys.
Is that why we don't have any listeners anymore?
Exactly.
And my plan was to perform amazingly this year and then have you guys come crawling back to me.
Yes. I thought that was what it was.
And then I was going to turn around and say no.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes, you would too. There's always an underlying thing. There's always an underlying driver for someone having a breakout season, and that's yours.
In fact, do you guys mind if I just get comfortable here?
Yeah, go.
It's a bit warm. Do you mind if I take my shirt off?
Oh. My God. Okay. Yes, Mim. Man,
It's what the people want.
Ever done?
that's the best thing that's ever happened on the podcast.
Well, I was gifted this wonderful shirt at the end of last season and never had the opportunity to wear it.
wear it.
I was worried something bad was going to happen.
I was literally like, nah.
Mim's never said, can I take my shirt off more weirdly in her whole life? I'm going, yeah, well, do what you want, sis. Like,
I was like, this is rogue. It's like, where
do
is
I
this
need to
going
take
to
mine off too?
go? Wow. No, that was good.
Nah, that was
How
a-
long have you been sitting
Sorry,
on
that's
that?
the Instagram edit. That was the best thing I've ever seen.
Our faces too were like, what?
That was Tiara's idea. She said you should wear your shirt into the podcast, and I said, you know what, I will.
Oh.
No, that
Because
is
it doesn't
actually...
get much use in the cupboard now.
No, it's actually great
It's a
that
lovely
you
shirt.
have it. Wow. Anyways, we are going to probably ask for you to come back, Mim. But yeah, the reason Braz isn't here today is she thinks she has food poisoning, but I actually think it's probably that she was scared that you were going to be on, and it would have been a battle between the two of you.
Absolutely.
And
Anyway.
speaking of what's been going on, by the way, everyone? Has anything happened today or in your lives? Anything new to chit chat about?
Am I supposed to know something?
Nah.
Oh,
No,
okay.
you're not.
We're just.
This is just a
this
segue
is-
into what
I
Driscoll
could-
wants to
'cause
talk about.
I don't know because I've been boycotting. I haven't been listening, so I'm not sure how it works.
just know
No,
how it
she hasn't
works
been
anymore.
listening. Like that's
I also tell all the fans that I meet.
I think it's almost inexcusable that people in this organisation don't listen to the podcast.
It's really sad because I did want to hear about everyone's stories, but
But you had to commit to the.
You gotta commit.
Committed to the boycott. I love that.
Tiara actually has to listen to it in secret.
Yeah, perfect. That's actually
And
brilliant.
she
Caught it the
relays
other
the
day.
information. She's like, this happened and this happened.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, on the podcast," and I was like, "You're watching the podcast."
Yeah, that's not
She goes,
allowed. No.
All right.
That's
Tell
actually
go on, Driscoll.
No,
Tell
I
us
just
what.
want to say two things is that Luke Ryan once put a goat in Coxie's backyard, and I think that now I'm going to have to surprise Helen and put a goat in Mim Strom's backyard because she is the goat. The second thing is that I got a message from Bridie Garlic this morning with a photo of Garlo with Promite. So I'm not the only Promite fan.
I've never had it,
Neither have I. And
and
I
I
still
don't
haven't.
plan on having it.
No.
I'm a big Vegemite fan myself.
Well, you don't know until you've tried Promite,
This
though.
is true. I don't want to be closed-minded, but
But
But I am.
I don't want to be closed-minded, but it
I am.
sounds like it sucks.
So there are Promite fans out there. Sounds like it sucks. There are Promite fans out there. That's all I really wanted to say, and that's all that's been going on in my life, to be honest. So maybe we'll just move on to the big
Yeah.
win that we had on the weekend.
we should just
Great.
move on.
Yeah, great.
What I wanted to talk about
Oh.
before we talk about the game, well, it was to do with the game, but does anyone else every single time get scared by the smoke cannons?
Oh, yes. Good you brought this
Every
up.
time.
I don't.
Do they warn the kids about them? Because the kids get quite scared as well.
Yeah, I feel like you have to be above 6 years old to run out.
Yeah.
That's a fact that I know. So maybe.
I've seen some screaming kids though.
Yeah.
When they have just gone out running, like
Yeah.
having the best time, and then they go off and they're like, and
Well,
run back
maybe
to
what
mum
we
or
need
dad.
to do is pause there, smoke cannons, then go through after, as opposed to like you're doing something at the time and then you obviously get a jump scare
Yeah.
when it occurs, which Hayley will
I
get
get a
the
jump
photo
scare
up.
every time.
Yeah.
I reckon every like run out photo, if you get a photo of the frame where we're just standing about to like run through every time. And I've got the old,
But I-
how old am I with the clutch of the heart?
I
every
find
time.
this bizarre though because like you ran the team out all of last year. It's not like you haven't had practice being the
I
first
know.
person there ready for the cannons. Like you should be conditioned to this.
Exactly why it blows my mind every
Yeah.
time. And I'm there and I'm like, there it is. It happened again.
Like what?
But
they changed the
I
timing.
figured out it is better if you go out later. You don't.
Feel it.
I've had it like once or twice this year where I haven't been like at the front, and you don't get. I
Yeah,
didn't
I'm
get scared of
usually
it
always
by it.
last.
But it's when you're first. How did you not get scared on the weekend?
Because I had a
You're
little
distracted.
girl with a disability
Yeah.
that I was pushing out, and just want to put it out there that I did touch the lever on her wheelchair and it put her into like, what is it called when you like reclined? She reclined back in her wheelchair.
I
And then I
know.
felt terrible. And then I've just like covered my mouth, and then I've obviously propped her back up and then like grabbed her hand to be like, I'm so sorry. Like what?
She was having the best time.
She had
though.
the best time.
She was
but I
having the
like,
best time.
Of course, this happens to me. Like, I'm so sorry. How embarrassing.
Especially
I
because
literally
you're
work
used,
with kids
I
with
was gonna
disabilities.
Say, I was like, especially because you know how those wheelchairs work.
I was
And
like, why
but
they
do have a
touch
lot of
that?
they have a lot of levers.
Anyways, it was very silly, but it was what a great time. We're not going to get scared of the Cannons this weekend. Don't worry, H, you'll be fine.
We probably will. But that's
We
fine.
will, but anyways, maybe we need to because it just gives us that kind of pump up ready to go because
Yeah, a bit of adrenaline.
we obviously
Yeah.
came out and won against the Dogs on the weekend, which was, I found, a pretty weird game, like a hard fought battle all the way to the end. Not really any patches of like open play. It was
No. It was
quite
very
congested.
it was pretty congested and like you said, sometimes footy feels really good when it goes like there's passages of play that are real smooth, but it was probably it was just not one of those
weird,
days.
yeah.
Probably for either team though. But we had some unreal performers in our team, obviously. Mim, you were unbelievable.
She's
I didn't
actually
realise. I
cooked.
never know, like when we're playing the game, I don't really, you know people are having a good game, but when I
No.
saw it afterwards, I was like,
No, I
Nah.
didn't need to see the stats.
that's wild.
I didn't need to see it because Mim was right in front of me taking big hangers all day.
Did you know she had 30 though?
Oh, I wouldn't have known until I saw
Well,
the stats. Yes, but
exactly.
I'm saying no. I knew she was dominant.
That's why I said I knew she was playing well, but then
Like,
you see
I
the
had-
stats and you're like,
I was like
almost
half time.
died.
I'm going to call the petting zoo now. I've got to get this goat now. Like
nah,
that's how
too
I
good.
was
Okay,
feeling.
let's just roll through it. 30 disposals, 29 hitouts, 7 clearances, 7 tackles. That's just wild to me because you're also getting the ball and you're getting going forward, but then you're also stopping them from getting it and going forward. 166 fantasy points for any of the fantasy people out there. If you haven't, you should have got Mim on your team prior to this
I'm
point.
getting a
but-
few fantasy messages.
Yeah.
People happy with my performances.
Absolutely.
Well, and because we were the last game of the round too, so people would have been like counting on you, and
Yeah.
you were just like,
Didn't want to
here
disappoint.
you go.
How did you feel out there, Mim? And how? I mean, we can talk about the season later, but just in the game on the weekend, how did it feel?
Yeah, I was going to say it was a bit of an odd game. While it like felt we were in control, obviously it didn't reflect much on the scoreboard. But I was just honestly just having fun. I was having so
Yeah.
much fun, and like maybe it was like the mindset of like it doesn't matter really.
Yeah.
Like we want to win, but
Yeah.
the result doesn't like
pressure.
we can just play
Yeah.
and play with no fear. So I was just having a great time, and I was just like feeling really confident. So
Wow, it
I just
showed.
felt
It's
like we were going to
fantastic.
win.
But I also think that just sums up Mim in general.
Yeah.
She's that nonchalant. I'd feel like I need to check her pulse half the time. But for some reason, she crosses that white line and is an animal. Like, it's just
Absolutely.
been unreal to watch Mim. Like, I can't stress that enough. But I do have a story about this. I was on the interchange in the second quarter, and your brother was obviously there as the runner. And I'm just like, oh, Mim's absolutely carving up. And Zach goes, well, she's not winning the hitouts. I said, oh, okay, well, I would have no clue about that. And I was like, shit, way to keep us humble here. Thanks, Zach. I'll go out there and tell her. No. And then
Yeah.
I just was talking about your marks. But how does
That's
it feel
another-
having Zach obviously involved in our team?
It's pretty cool. Like I know we have like this really special little connection within our team, but also just like in the W space, I feel like it's so different. He's only been in like men's football facilities, so like to share that with someone like so close to you, it's like a pretty surreal feeling.
Yeah.
And then also like just his knowledge, like I told him after he was like offered the job, he was like, oh, would you be okay if I took it? And I was like, yeah, I don't know why you and Noah don't give me feedback in general.
Yeah.
But he's been incredible, and like obviously being like the undersized ruck of the waffle competition, he's brought like a different perspective. I've had some like incredible rucks, and they've all influenced me, ruck coaches, and they've all influenced me in some way or another, but he's been the first like shorter one, and he's just like giving us all these different tips and tricks that we just wouldn't have thought
so
to
good.
do. And I feel it really complements our ruck group with
Definitely.
Ari like coming in as an undersized ruck, and then TK just coming in and learning from scratch as well.
Yep.
So I always tell him like we're having the most fun in the ruck group, but then also like the honest feedback
Nice.
side.
Yeah. I
Well,
feel
she's not
like
winning
he's
the
just like,
hitouts.
well,
Yeah.
nah,
So,
you didn't win that, so
One,
be better.
he's not afraid to give me honest feedback, but also I'm not afraid to
Yeah, I love
give
that.
him honest feedback,
important.
and like it just like creates another like level to like our coaching relationship, because he can be like, you're playing shit, and I can be like, yeah,
No, I
no,
love that.
I
Sorry,
agree.
at what point in this season has he told you that? Because
Well, again, the hit outs, but
But I think it's also just like just I guess, shines a light on the character of your family as well, Mim, and how, like, humility would be one of your biggest values. And I think that's incredible that you keep each other grounded in that sense. And I think from Zach's perspective, he's been there. He's been that undersized ruck, played at waffle level. He can give that feedback because he knows exactly what it feels like to be in your position. So I think it's incredibly cool. And I find it so bizarre that, he's here and obviously on the interchange when we're having a chat about his sister playing. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So
I just want to touch on, like, the mutual respect you would also have with you both have brothers. And, like, obviously I've watched him play for many years and admired his game, but, like, for him to, like, turn around and say, like, you played well or stuff like that, it's just like,
it's a really nice feeling.
It's really, it's a good feeling. Yeah.
And I think it's just like, you're not seeking validation, but I think because it's your family and they're playing as well, it just it does feel really nice.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I want.
This is lovely.
Oh my gosh, sorry.
Just keep going with this.
I'm going to start crying.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought up the undersized ruck. So I've been doing my research.
Miller, before you got here.
Before you got here, I was quickly Googling how tall everyone was. But
what am I?
184.
Oh, yeah. 180,
Well, that's what Google
182.7.
No.
Okay. Right. That solidifies even more that you're definitely the shortest.
Yeah.
So I knew that, well, who knows if any of the other ones are right, but whatever.
Yeah.
You're the shortest ruck essentially that you've come up against, that the others have come up against.
Really?
And, yeah.
That's cool.
And I think from watch, so when I'm playing, I don't really notice it as much, but when I was on the sidelines watching you ruck, the way, and for yourself, and notice it with TK as well, especially in the GWS game, the way that you were able to move, like you move around so much more than what I think you ever did before.
Definitely, yeah.
And so I think that's a testament to Zach and what he's taught you about being an undersized ruck, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to be the dominant ruck, which I think I'd be the first to say when you first came in and it was like, okay, we're probably not going to win these taps. When
Just
like,
run after the ball, Mim.
it was like, you just like do your work and you make it as hard as you can for them. And my favourite thing about this season in particular, it's probably like started to change over the last couple of seasons. Oh, mate, with the water.
Sorry. See, I told you my seal's broken.
Is that we're like, okay, well, we're winning the taps, so now it's like, hey, Mim, if you don't put it right there. Now, this is my pet peeve.
Expectation.
When the girls in the midfield, they're like, do you want it at 6 or 7? I'm like, do you realise that 6 and 7 is essentially within like a metre?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we want it in the 6. And I'm like, Mim, just put it in the general direction and it will be great.
We'll get there.
But like from my perspective, that has been such a big change, and for our group, and then we've obviously done really well. So basically,
Taps
it's
are
you.
so predictable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
incredible.
I don't really think about the height anymore, but I still would say that I'm probably an undersized ruck compared to.
No, your height
some of
hasn't
the
changed,
girls.
so of
Yeah.
course you're still an undersized ruck.
I know.
What's changed is like I'd say it's like the dominant versus like the like not having a dominant ruck, but you are a dominant ruck.
Thank you.
So see you later, everyone else.
No, I feel like in the W competition, well, all over, but I feel like the taps don't necessarily equate to whether the ruck is dominant or not. Like the work you do around the ground, and then also just like stopping the other ruck from getting clean hands. Like Edmonds is a great ruck, and she's like one of the highest for hit outs to advantage. So like to try and combat her was like my main objective. And then like if you look at again on stats, like I feel like you need to watch a ruck's game, and you never know what a ruck's job is. Is it to defend? Is it to attack? Or is it to stop the other ruck? And I feel like a lot of rucks get unnoticed, and well, hopefully they get the praise in their own club. But I obviously watch a lot of different rucks, and I think they're all incredible in their own right, and the job that they do is really important.
Definitely. No, but it's your ability to be that extra midfielder in there, Mim, and then you cover the ground so well. Like I think on the weekend, Mim was everywhere. Mim was in every patch of space that there was. And I think just being that target, not even down the line, like on a 45 kick, is just like so important to our game and how we want to move the ball. So I feel like good luck to Essendon this weekend, because they're going to have to tag you. Like seriously. I'm going to put it out there.
Exactly.
Tag our ruck.
Go on.
Don't
tag
say
the
that.
ruck. Don't say that.
No,
but
seriously.
then you come down for, I'm like, man, How do you even? Well, you have 90%. I'm pretty sure you're averaging 90% game time every game this season, which is incredible in itself.
And has broken the record for most hitouts in a single season of AFLW ever with 390. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely
it's pretty.
wild.
It's genuinely a pretty cool stat.
It is
to have. I'm pretty happy with that. But just to mention another stat, who's leading intercept
Oh,
marker of the comp?
well done.
God.
Driscoll, how many?
Jeez. 94.
94.
I'm not sure.
94.
We're
she
talking
knows.
about records
The
being
old
broken.
intercept possession far out. I don't know how I've done that. It'd be nice if the ball got kept away, girls, to be honest. But no, obviously pretty cool, and obviously love the back line. We always joke that it's a team within a team, but obviously love my girls down there. They're all amazing. And I'm pretty sure that every single defender on the weekend took some sort of an incredible mark. Like Pewey's one-hander.
One
that
hander
was
while being
stunning.
held. I was like,
Oh,
either that's holding or a mark. Give her one.
Give her one or the other.
No,
Both. It was
great.
both.
It was actually great.
No, well, you're both doing incredible things this season and every season, but it's so good to have that sort of breakout for yourself this year. Yours was probably last year, but you've just continued it on,
Continued, even
which is
better.
almost
Thanks, Mimi.
harder sometimes than the original breakout year to back it up. So you've done an incredible job of that this year.
Thank you, Hay.
But it's not over yet, okay? You
Okay.
two,
Still going.
okay?
no.
No, it is not over yet.
You say the voice. Oh, perfect. No, that's incredible. Well, we're speaking on really in a positive light at the moment. So we're going to continue that with our first segment of today, which is Anchors in Action.
Hey, put on your Superman case, boy. It's Wolfie time. Let's go. You
It's the longest sting ever.
That's
you gotta wait for it. It's still going.
Oh.
It goes forever.
Can't talk.
Anyway, this is where we have a chance to highlight the good around our club, so our unsung heroes. So anyone, can be anyone, player, usually it's staff member, but can be anyone. Mim, do you have anyone that you'd like to shout out?
Quickly touch on two. One
Two, all right.
was
you running
sorry.
this podcast.
Didn't realise you were the producer.
One was Hef. I lost my mouth guard at some point during our celebrations, and she found it for me. So
Oh,
thank you, Hef.
She came up to me. She's like, "Whose is this?" I was like, "Nice. You just hold on to that." Someone's
and
mouth
she's
guard.
touched my disgusting mouth guard, so
that's
appreciate that.
Claire Heffernan, our head of AFLW, has
Yep.
picked up Mim Strom's mouth guard.
Yeah, know your role, play your role.
Yeah.
And then just like our events team for planning such an incredible Indigenous home round for us. I thought it was so special. We had the tapping sticks, the
loved that.
incredible dancers doing their thing. I feel like just around the ground, like the crowd we had and the vibe with, promoting local Indigenous artists and stuff like that. So yeah, it was incredible.
Yep, love it.
That was so. Just want to touch on
It was
that
lovely.
pre-game. I love that's my favorite,
very
favorite pre-game ever. It was so good.
It was really good.
Loved it. My unsung hero, I'm going to shout out Tomo. He doesn't get a lot of, chat about him, but he does such great work behind the scenes. In particular, on the weekend, but he's done it multiple times for me before. Gets on the rebounder. Anything you need pre-game to get some touch on the footy. It didn't help me because I couldn't pick up the ball to save my life, but that's fine. Tomo, thank you so much for everything you do for our club.
And that's Craig Thomas. He is our opposition analysis coach.
Sorry.
Just so we have full names in there. Tomo also is like a groundsman. Like he goes out there, he knows where every blade of grass is like thicker, and he like analyzes the wind. Like he just
does.
knows everything. If you
Honestly,
want to
he
ask
does.
him something about the ground or the weather,
I remember
Tomo's got it.
the St Kilda game. He was like, "It's sandy underneath, means it won't, or it either will pop up more or won't. Maybe it would pop up
About
more."
like
and
when
I
you
was like,
bounce.
"I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I
that
know.
that the sandiness
See.
makes it pop up more, or it doesn't make it like pop up when it should." He was like, "Oh, it's going to bobble around a bit," and then
wow, amazing.
I gave it a go, and I was like, "Yeah, you're right.
Amazing.
It does." Anyway, he
We
knows
love
his
that,
stuff.
Tomo. Sorry, I can't absorb half of the information you give me at the time, though. And mine this week is going to be Rose Huxtable, the Scorpion Princess. It was her birthday on Friday. She is one of our strength and conditioning coaches, and I just think she flies under the radar. But she does a mountain of work with our gym programs, and she's here 2-3 times a week running the warm-ups, doing our gym programs, and just being an absolute incredible human being. We love you, Rose.
Love that. And the fact that her voice doesn't break every time she's yelling out.
know.
Because we, pre-game, we're doing a lot of these yelling things. Tammy Jacobson, poor girl, every time she does it, her
Yeah,
voice breaks.
It's
But
bad.
Rose, for the most part, it's
good.
pretty good.
Drill sergeant.
Now, we have spoken a fair bit about you already, Mim. So we're going to bring you down a few pegs.
I think so. I think we start with that one, but we cut out maybe like
We've already talked
the
about
second point. Are we recapping Mim just as a? Oh yeah. Are we gonna?
Let me just say
just
this
go.
part that I wanted to say anyway. We're going to bring you down a few pegs. Your goal kicking. You could have had literally a game for the ages. A game for the ages. Could have been like the best game that anyone has ever played in their whole entire life.
I know. We actually had to stop talking about it in the house. Tiara cut me off. She said, if you say you missed your goals one more time. I don't know what happened. Look, the first one was pretty close. Like the crowd thought it went in. And then the rest I couldn't buy. Like,
No, but I'm just like, it's so annoying because all of your effort, I'm just like, oh, just give her the reward. I'm taking my shirt off now too, by the way.
Yeah, I definitely need some.
You don't have one of those on. What have you got underneath?
I need some a goal kicking practice. Zach and I have identified that'll be maybe next game, but probably a next year situation to take some more time. And then the last one, I can't believe it hit the post.
Also, I feel like
I don't know how you
the
missed
crowd thought
right
it
in
was.
front.
Don't be stupid.
Honestly.
It's 12 points to hit the post in my eyes.
But
totally fine.
Mum highlighted that I got about half a goal with
You did.
all my points.
Absolutely, you did.
Contributing.
It's absolutely fine. I can't talk at all. So
Hang on, I missed 2 on the weekend, so I can't talk either. But mine were
Great.
from the pocket.
Yeah,
so.
I was going to say that. Yours were really
need
hard,
to-
but also, Mim, it's totally fine. I just really would have liked to see you get the reward.
I would
for
have
all
liked
of-
a goal
No,
too.
if you'd done the whole out of the ruck bang, incredible.
I think there was so many times. One time, the Bulldogs didn't nominate a ruck inside D50. I'm like, Mim, just take it out. I'm like holding
take it
my
and go.
girl. Like,
Yeah.
Mim, just take it.
Nice,
Thank you for
but
holding her down.
Anyway, you're incredible, but there's
But
always
work on it.
There's always areas we can
Always
improve.
areas, yeah.
I'm
And then-
always down for a Mim Strom goal.
We're speaking about improvement. Obviously, Mim, we talk about your breakout season this year. I think it has been a long time coming, though. Last year, you had an amazing season as well. But we just want to know anything that you've put your improvement and growth down to.
I'd just say my fitness. It has to be. Like working in the off season, like just dedication, 6 a.m. run if you have to get it done.
Yep.
And then like going back up to Exmouth and running with my brothers. Like sometimes I just like, what's your program today? Let's just do it. Like
Yeah,
I'm gonna
amazing.
run with you until I can't. And they've been huge motivators for me. And it's just allowed me to be around the ground, like play higher minutes, get around the ball more, be that extra midfielder. So I think that's been a shift. And then also, I guess Zach's doing some good work in the we touched on.
And I think it's probably just like more games under your belt as well, Mim. Like you came in as an 18-year-old, like you got thrown in the deep end. We had no other ruck. Like you just had to learn.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you've done. You've embraced it the whole way through.
Yeah, I don't think you can trade experience like year after year. It's just
Absolutely.
like the things I used to have to learn and think about in the ruck, it just like happen now, and I can think about other things.
No, it's
pretty
incredible. And like you touched on, you were Anya was meant to come in and be our main ruck for that season. What year was that?
That would have been 20. I was drafted in 2019. It would have been 2020.
Yeah, so
Just
2020
was
season.
drafted in 19.
And then, unfortunately, in the preseason game, she goes down with a knee. And then it was like, well, we got no one else.
Yep.
So,
Wins in.
bang, straight in. And then you haven't missed a game.
What is it? 6 seasons later.
touch wood.
6 seasons later, and some of the names that the West Australian have labelled you with are the Tap Monster and the Ruck Guru.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard them?
I have not. People like to play
you're
with
you're the runk to me. So
yeah, that's
She's
good
the
one.
Ruck. We should just bring that out.
People like to play with the Strom name. We've had a few funny ones.
Someone actually sent a voice memo into the podcast about Mim.
Oh,
Did
good.
they?
Put a play on her name. Oh, well, I don't know now, but
a previous one.
yeah.
Oh, I can't remember.
Anyway, so that's incredible. And we've really touched on everything else. Obviously, you talked about Zach. You've talked about 90% game time across the whole entire season.
It's wild. No, what I want to know is what are you doing with yourself outside of football these days,
yeah.
Mim? Someone I can't keep up with. I'm like, is she doing media? Not anymore. You studying? Are you working
I am.
still?
Yeah, I'm studying to be a teacher at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
So,
good.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
Notre Dame.
What year?
Well, about second with all the part-time
And
stuff.
you're doing part-time, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I do full-time first semester and then go to part-time.
yeah, okay,
That's
great.
clever. And then
incredible.
work-wise,
Yeah, I work at the
Working
club
at the
in
club
the
still?
fans and community team still.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
you
Yeah, I
still-
had the footy prints
Yeah,
this
I
morning.
was in-
I
Yeah,
was
the
going to
kids.
say, the Freo footprints love
Mim. It's always the little ones, and they're like, Coach Mim.
It is so cute when they come to the game. It's very cute. Sometimes they make signs and stuff. So I'm blessed, yeah.
It's
Nah,
too cute.
it's adorable.
I
Mim,
absolutely love that.
you're actually amazing. So that's great that we've actually found that out because Miller and I were trying to guess before.
Just trying to guess what you do.
No worries.
Never know
You
what
guys
anyone
could just
does.
be my friends and ask me in your free
do.
time.
Could do. Don't
Yeah,
have any
okay.
free time
In
to
our
ask you.
our free time. Perfect. No, that's actually amazing. And then we're going to move on to the dish with Drews.
Great.
Because why not stitch you up? Or is that what we're up to?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
I was just trying to decide when we were going to do a certain thing, but that's fine.
Yeah, in this one? Is that okay?
But should we do it while
At the s-
she's doing it? It doesn't. I don't know how long it takes her.
No, we'll do it at the end. Who
Okay.
cares? All right, so Mim, as you know, I've got quite a close relationship with Helen, your mum. Can't wait to have a few choice beverages with her in
Oh, she
December.
loves a drink.
If I'm honest. Because the bubbles are going to go straight to our heads. They already have, to be honest, because Helen's given me some absolute
What?
dirt on you.
Helen doesn't even have social media. What do you mean?
Don't worry
You've
about it.
texted her. You guys are besties.
Of course. So we'll start with when you were 4, you accidentally overdosed on Zach's Quell. So that's a travel sickness tablet. And you were high as a kite, literally trying to fly off things. Tell us about
Yeah.
this story.
Oh, I don't remember much about it. I do remember finding something in the car and thinking it was a bit of a lolly and
can
downing
chew
a
them as
couple.
well,
Yeah. And then I think mum's called up like her friend and been like, Mim is off her face. I've found some quells. Like maybe she took some of those and the girl's gone, oh, like some people take those before they go out. And apparently I tried to like jump off stuff, thought I could fly.
No, that's actually insane.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember much about it. Mum brings it up quite a bit.
That's great though.
Sure, that's not good for you.
I actually love
Can't
it.
be. Oh, I think we went to the hospital and they just gave me a bunch of milk, like sent me home. That's about
Nah,
it.
that
some milk.
Yeah,
That's
fixes
the
everything.
most bizarre thing ever.
Yeah, good.
Anyways, love it. We love a quell as well.
Right. But keep your quells away from your 4-year-olds.
Yeah,
Yeah, please.
lock them up.
You won a movie making award when you were 10 and you wore a tiny tie to the ceremony. What the hell, Helen? Also, might I just say for context, Mims actually is a movie fiend. She does give us girls some great movies to watch. What were the 2 that you gave me last year?
I think I told you to watch. Ooh, what was it?
The
Oh,
war
Jojo
one.
Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit and
I watched that one
Brilliant.
because of you.
the murder one.
Oh, Deadlock. If you haven't seen that,
No,
that's
there was one
Another
more.
one?
Something about like a place. Like
Is this trivia? I don't know. I do love movies. That's why I wanted to study media.
Yep.
And
you clearly were great
when I
at
was a
it.
kid, there was some like movie competitions, I guess, in Exmouth, and I don't know whose idea it was. And I was a shy kid, so I don't know why I did it. But like, Mum was like, "You should be like a reporter and go around the town and like interview people."
Do you still
and
have this video?
yeah, God, it would be good if you
No,
did. I don't
I'm
reckon.
so I'll ring Helen after.
I don't reckon, but I did. I put on like a weather reporter's wig.
No.
Like
Yeah.
imagine like
No,
an
that's
old
hard.
school. And I
That's so
had
good.
like a mic and
And you
yeah,
had an
for
alter
the
ego.
award. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it was crazy. And then, like I got an award for it. I don't know. I was probably the only one, the only
you're the only one that did
entrance. The only one that wanted to do it. And
In
I,
Exmouth.
for some reason I had a tie on that day. It was like the Whale Shark Festival or something, and like they were selling ties, and I thought, yeah, that'll be cool in 20 years.
that's
Can't
my-
wait to look back on that.
That's my outfit for today. No, it's actually brilliant. And you also acted in a heap of school plays. You were singing and dancing, so I hope she's got the vision of that. But tell us about the musical instrument that you can play.
Yeah, I was in the plays. I think that would surprise some people.
Yeah.
And
your
I can play.
musical
Yeah,
instrument?
I can play the guitar.
Well, I've got specifically a ukulele here.
Well, yeah, I can play the ukulele.
Oh.
They're very similar. During
an easier
during
version of a
COVID,
guitar.
during lockdown, I had a guitar. I've had a guitar for years, never learnt to play it. And then I was like bored, so I was like, oh, I'll just learn the guitar in lockdown. So I did that. And then the ukulele is pretty similar. Like it's not hard to
Why
learn.
didn't we? We should have asked her to bring one in.
I know.
But no, we'll get to your other special talent shortly. But I obviously contacted your wonderful partner Tiara as well. Love that lady. And she's worried you're gonna murder her. But
What?
so tell us about how you met Tiara, and how this links in with your forgetfulness.
I don't know if you can tell this story.
I think you can.
Okay, the short
You've
version.
no idea what story she's going to tell. Could be
The,
anything.
the short version, I think this is what she's talking about. We met at a Halloween party. Her best friend is sisters with my best friend.
Oh,
so yeah, just like
Great.
a really, it was in the stars, I think. And we obviously
She's
like
a hopeless
She's-
romantic
like,
too.
she absolutely is.
yeah. To cut it short, we obviously we liked each other. Whatever. That's so embarrassing. We obviously hit it off, okay. And at the end of the night,
How good that's so embarrassing.
I feel like a child. And at the end of the night, I asked for her number, as you would if you meet a pretty lady.
I got Peppa Pig here.
And then,
time.
and she gave it to me. Thank goodness. And then the next day, I texted her best friend and said, "Can I please have her number?" Because I'd forgot that I'd asked for it.
Well, you'd think that if you asked a pretty lady for a number, you'd remember.
that you got it.
But yeah, I don't even know if you can use that story.
No, we're definitely going to
that's
use
fine.
that story, but I just love that she just wanted to make a huge point. out
I'm
of the
very
fact that you're
forgetful.
very
I've like
forgetful.
20 reminders on my phone.
Yeah.
I had 3 today to make sure I made it around. Yeah, I'm very forgetful.
Yeah, no. Well, that's actually very funny. I can't stop giggling at. You feel like a kid talking about this. Alrighty, but no, we're moving on to your special talent, and H is incredible and has actually brought one of these in. You are really good at the Rubik's Cube.
I'm not really good.
You are really
are,
good. I've
you
seen
are.
it. You've taught half the team.
Neither of these two can
is
do a
for you.
Rubik's Cube.
So you're going to do that
I'm gonna time
while we talk through from the fans, if that's okay. And
Yeah, go
Milla's
on.
going to get the timer
you
up.
want to time it?
But you still have to have your
I'm a bit
input as well.
nervous,
Can you do two
so-
things at once?
Yeah.
Hang on.
I'm
Hold
forgetful, but I can multitask.
up. Stopwatch. All right, here we go.
All right.
Where's my camera? Ready?
Yeah.
Steady. Go.
Nah, I already,
Yeah,
my
it goes
hand
fast.
hurts already.
All right.
Okay.
I think we're gonna do from the fans.
I
while
think
you do
so.
it.
Do you reckon?
Okay.
Alrighty, you go.
What? No, you do it.
No, I'm worried about this one because these are a couple of my Perth Demons. Well, one of my Perth
Oh,
Demons
good. They
girls, and
might
then
sing again.
the other two are fans. But I also am a physio for one of them, which is very weird. And they bring a cardboard cutout of me to the game every single week. So
great.
let's hear from Caitlin, Evelyn, and Talia.
Hello, Emma. We hope you enjoy your sunnies. Love you lots, Caitlin, Evelyn, and Tala.
Cute.
Mwah.
That was lovely.
Yeah.
But so were they the ones that made your Freo sunnies that you had?
Yes, so the Freo sunnies with the diamantes around it and the Freo written on them are from the girls. So we absolutely love them. That's incredible. We'll just
Mim's almost done.
she's done the yellow.
That's been 1 minute. And
Wow.
yeah, done. Oh.
Flick it once more.
Sorry.
Okay, we'll give her
It's a
102.
regulation cube. It's
1
not a speed.
minute.
102.
She's a psychopath.
That's probably one of my slower times. I was a bit nervous. Got shaking hands.
It's one of my slower times.
No,
There
I'm
you go.
not like a speed cube person, but
Oh,
I
it's
can
pretty
do it.
speedy. I think that
Okay,
would take me
well-
all day.
That was impressive. Let's just cut that to show people. Wow. Okay, next up we've got Mark.
Hi, Hayley, Driscoll, and Ash Brazel, the usurper. Everyone said a lot about the fixture over the last month or so, but I wanted to ask about the state leagues because all of the women's footy state leagues around the country are early in the year and they start kind of when the AFL starts. There's no overlap with the AFLW, so draftees and players coming back from injury or whatever don't really have a way to ease their way back into the comp, or the team rather, and like prove they're ready the same way they would in the AFL. So I wanted to know your thoughts about the misalignment of the comps and if there's an issue with that and how you would think about fixing it. That might be a bit serious as well. So I also desperately need closure on that piece of toast from the other week. Thanks.
Amazing. Well, should I go with the toast first then?
Go.
That piece of toast, it went very cold, very hard
So
and horrible,
gross.
but I did eat it afterwards. But I thought, I don't know. Oh, just lost my pen. I did think if I put it there, I might be able to eat it during, but of
Never.
course I was never going to be able to eat it during. Mim, you wouldn't know because you don't.
No, I'm
Watch
guessing
or
you tried
listen.
to eat
Well,
one during.
Yeah, I ate it
podcast, which
beforehand.
seems like a terrible idea.
Yeah, it was
I had
never
2
gonna
pieces.
happen.
I ate one, got one down, and then I just had the other one. I was like, yeah, I'll just leave it there. I might nibble on it during. Yeah, of course I wasn't going to be able to do that. So anyway, it got eaten afterwards. It was horrible and cold, but Vegemite, not Promite, it was delicious.
Incredible. And then as for the fixturing of
Yes.
the Waffle W competition, obviously it's probably a big talking point at the moment, not only the AFL scheduling our AFLW season, but the WA Footy Commission as well, determining when we start Waffle W. And to be honest, I think it's going to be an ongoing thing where we are trying to obviously align the competitions, but also be able to fit in the men's season. And sorry to say it, Mark, but there's a lot of logistical things that happen in the background that need to go right, and that a lot of that includes broadcasting as well. So where the big dollars are, but I feel like there's no short answer to this one. I think it's going to be.
But it is, I will say, it is pretty rough for the girls that that not getting picked.
Certainly.
They do have at the moment these, they call them scrimmages.
Yep.
So the non-playing players from all the teams generally get together in one place around the country, but that sometimes means then our girls are travelling week on week on
Yep.
week to play these scrimmage matches. And speaking to those girls, it is hard because
Yep.
there's maybe 2 or 3, from each team, and everyone's trying to play their best footy and put their best foot forward, which means, then when you're actually trying to put a team together and play as a team, it doesn't really work overly well. So I think, ideally, of course, we would have the seasons align or some sort of competition that aligns at the same time to allow those girls a way to get themselves to show their talent and get themselves back into the team. But there is no, like you said, there's no easy fix to it. And I guess we probably just have to leave that to the big dogs in figuring out how that's best going to work. But I do feel for our non-playing players sometimes.
And I think there is a survey that we complete at the end of every season as well, run by the Players Association, that will get sent out where every single player in the league, whether non-playing player, playing player, they'll all give feedback to the AFL about what worked, what didn't work in their opinion. And I think that data collection is really important because that's coming, from a player's perspective. And then I suppose they have to try and figure out a way to implement the feedback as best they can.
Absolutely. Any thoughts, Mim?
No, I think you guys touched on it perfectly. It's, a lot of things behind the scenes, and I guess that's why we leave it up to the AFL to make those decisions. But you do feel for the girls who are trying to crack into a team and trying to show their skills. But I guess what's been a good thing from our club is they've put a lot of buy into getting the non-playing players, if they want to the scrimmage, wherever that may be.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. Next we have Earl Grey. Here we go.
Hey girls, love the pod. Earl Squirrelson here. My question to you guys is, if you guys were a vehicle, what vehicle would you be?
So that's just like a remarkable name, really.
Squirrelton. Is that real? Is that real life?
Start the start again, Brett.
We need to listen to that again.
Hey girls, love the pod. Earl Squirrelson here. My question to you guys is, if you guys were a vehicle, what vehicle would you be?
Sorry, I'm not laughing
No,
at your name.
I'm like, if
laughing
that's your
at how it
name,
is.
that's incredible.
Wow. Sounds like it's fake.
Anyway, what was the question? If you were a
If you're a
vehicle,
vehicle.
what vehicle would you be?
Oh, God.
I know what I'd be.
Okay.
Go on, Mim.
I have a lovely little 2004 Toyota Camry.
It's
got-
your Toyota Camry.
Got barely any license plate left on it. Huge boot space. Love it.
She wants to go under the radar without
But
the
she's
license
just
plate.
she's not fancy. But she's reliable.
Yeah. Be reliable, not remarkable. And then when you're reliable, you'll become remarkable. And that is Mim
you.
right
That
there.
is you.
And she gets you from A to B. So
2004 Camry. Thank you.
That's great.
That's actually the best thing. The boot space has sent me. That was so random.
have you seen it?
You could it's seen the boot
huge.
Mim's like, I had all my
I
dead bodies in
guarantee you, I have more boot space than anyone else in the car park.
I need
That's
to
a
see that. That's a
massive
big
call.
call. So we both have
'Cause I
bigger
know
cars than you.
JL has a Land Cruiser.
All right, any player,
Did you say anyone with the same size car?
No, that's
any
great.
other
No.
Camry? No,
Any?
no. I think you'll be surprised.
Too good.
Hey,
I
all
wonder
the
what kind of
footprint stuff in
vehicle
there.
I'd be.
what would you
I don't
wanna
want to be a
be?
Camry.
Yeah, it's mine.
I'm just thinking of like cars I like.
Well, I
But then-
drive a RAV4 and I absolutely love it. And it's hybrid. So I feel like that could suit my personality a little bit. Like get a mix of both, electricity and fuel. And, you just don't know.
Just
As I'm shooting, you just don't know.
Nah. Okay.
What are you?
Well, I want to be a Lamborghini then.
I feel like you're not, though. I feel
That's
like
rough. What am I?
you're-
Pickup truck.
Just because of the calf. She's like, that's what you think. She's like, no. You would be a fast car, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
You would.
Yeah, you'd be a nice car, I reckon.
That's nice. Thank you.
I
didn't
could
think
see you
so,
more
but
of
thank you.
a Porsche girl.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, that's like
See, it's still fancy. You are
that's
fancy.
Yeah, Porsche.
and fairly
Fancy.
fast.
Your hair
Okay.
looks great, so I feel like a car that looks great, but
All
also
right.
speedy.
Amazing. I'll take it.
Also
I'll take
speedy.
the Porsche.
Okay, gorgeous. Great question.
Squirrelton. All right, well, we're back in finals. How good does that feel? We can finally say the F word now. I stole that one from Lisa.
I can
Good
never
gags.
do it.
Yeah, that way. That's good. How good? It's
How
been
good.
2 seasons we've missed out now. How we feel. We've all played in that last one.
Last one was against
Adelaide.
Adelaide.
Yeah. Was.
At Adelaide Oval as well.
Yeah. And it wasn't like, and that one was to make the grand final. We lost by, I think,
Not
14 points, something.
Yeah, not
No, it was gettable.
just,
It was definitely
just over
gettable.
2 goals, maybe.
Anyway, how are we feeling? Finals.
I'm so excited. I've been saying the F word all year. Finals, that is.
I've
Yeah,
been saying the
because-
F word my whole
because
life.
Helen would not approve.
That's a coronary.
no, that's been
Michelle would, though.
That's been the goal since we were knocked out of finals. Since it's been the goal since we got shut down that year.
Yeah.
But
shut down.
I feel so good and I'm so excited and I don't even care that we didn't make the top 4 because we're going to do it the hard way and we're
Yeah,
going to win
absolutely.
every game all the way to
I'm
the
going to be
end.
doing this one all year, baby. We're coming from fifth.
I was like, what's that?
Here you go.
I was
Coming
trying
from
to put
fifth.
that together.
The only other team that's done that is Brisbane, actually. So come from fifth, won the
Doable.
Grandy. It is absolutely
Absolutely
gettable. And we're that excited to take on Essendon at Freo Oval at 4 o'clock on Saturday. We need to get every single person there because it's going to be huge. And obviously it's an elimination. So we have to win to move through to the next stage.
And we have had one final at Freo Oval before, but it was in COVID season.
Yeah.
And the season was basically over. You could see the writing was on the wall, but we're having this stupid final series where we versed first versus fake final 8th.
Yep.
Gold Coast at the time.
Yep.
No offense to them, but they weren't meant to be in the
No,
final series. They
correct.
just made up this final series that was supposed to go for 6 weeks or something,
Yep.
and it was never going over
Yep.
one game. So, and no one was there. So
Yep.
we had no one at that game. So this is the first real finals that
Absolutely.
we've had at Freo Oval. So it's going to be massive. It's going to be a tough game. Finals always are. It's a whole new ball game. So we expect that. Yeah, Essendon is going to come out firing.
Absolutely.
But so excited.
We're ready to go. We have milestone games as well. 50th,
Yeah, 50th.
for Sarah Veria and Philly Sayre.
How
So
good.
exciting.
That's
Two,
so cool.
two unassuming young gals that have
Yeah.
been running around for a
They've
long
had
time.
their
with
head
us.
down.
How good.
They've got to the milestone.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
excited
actually
to
crazy.
celebrate them.
Nah, so that is correct as well. Checked on the AFL Women's app now. 'cause I know how to do that
No
now.
49.
So It's not a 49th,
around.
it's a 50th.
Yeah.
So get down and support those girls, but more importantly, support the purple because we are going to come out. Guns are blazing. Let's go.
Absolutely. All right, well, that is all we have time for this week on the Rollers and the Rockers. Mim, how'd you find it?
Yeah, it was great. I'd like to say thank you to everyone who has not been listening in solidarity.
Are they allowed to listen now?
I now give you permission to listen to the podcast. You can listen to this one. Let's get the views up.
This one only.
I'm
No, you
done
can
with
listen to all of them.
hand on heart looking down the barrel of the
Tiara, I
camera.
know you're listening.
She also gave
Even
me
though I
the,
didn't give you permission.
She also gave me the shush just before. She was like, hang on, let me
This is
say
my
this.
time.
This is my time.
I wasn't even mad that I was late because I'm the talent now.
It's actually like, this is
I
a
think
new...
the fame's getting to her head.
I think so.
All right.
She's gone mental, but anyways.
It's too good.
Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review and come to Fremantle Oval. Join this one on the weekend.
Baby.
And as always, we'll leave you with Driscoll with an inspiring quote.
We've got this.